Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Rania Mankarious. Rania Mankarious made Houston her home by rolling up her sleeves and getting her hands dirty. Citing a personal mission to serve families and engage the public to better society, Mankarious made the extraordinary move of taking an internship at Crime Stoppers of Houston in 2006, even though she was an attorney with a master's degree. Mankarious knew she had to be part of Crime Stoppers, an organization unlike any other. Over the years, she worked vigorously, and by 2008, she became the organization's director of marketing. By March 2013, she was chosen to lead the organization as executive director, and by 2018, after a long list of many accomplishments, she was named the organization's first CEO. The Boston native, now Houston resident, Mankarious received a bachelor's degree in psychology, theology, and pre-medicine from Boston College, a master's degree in marriage and family therapy from Gordon Conwell, and a doctorate of jurisprudence completed at the University of Houston Law Center. Well, good afternoon, Rania. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Rania, I appreciate you jumping on. And like I said earlier, before we got on here, I really focus on emerging technologies. I talk to a lot of CTOs and technologists from all over the world. And we're going to talk a little bit about your focus. You're going to touch on cybersecurity, of course, but really you're kind of out of the realm of the norm for my show. So this is what's so exciting. I get to kind of mix it up. Thank you for joining today. And we're going to jump right into the questions. Rania, you have quite the career in leadership, nonprofit, and the host of your own podcast show. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Yeah, I'd love to actually. So career growth is an interesting one. I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I went to law school and I used to run a company out of the Northeast where I'm originally from, born and raised in Boston. But my passion and inspiration has always come from people. I love people. I love looking at people. I love seeing what makes them happy, sad. And I moved to Houston and realized, I didn't want to do straight law. I sort of jumped into the nonprofit sector and found this organization called Crime Stoppers. Originally, it was like, the name is terrible. The website was horrific at the time. And I was like, I'll just go interview because I'm in a new city and I'm learning about people and nonprofits in this area. But I walked in and I fell in love with the mission. And they said, look, all we have is an internship at $10 an hour. You're way overqualified. And I said, I'll take it. I will take it. And my husband thought I was nuts. My family and friends thought I was crazy. But I realized that there was something so valuable in this nonprofit. I worked really, really hard. I'm not one to have an ego, and I hate job descriptions. And I don't like when people say, oh, you want me to do, but it's right outside my job description. So I didn't do any of that. And I've never done that. And I grew. And I'm now the CEO of the organization. This is many years later. And I maintain that by recognizing that I'm the face of the organization. I've been willing to marry my personal brand with the mission of the organization. I recognize that you have to hire the best people you can find and really step out of their way. I don't know the details of a lot of their things, but I am very good at understanding sort of the big picture and where we need to go. And being inspired by people and their stories, I've sort of led and gotten up every day with a heart full of love for people, really. I have a lot of grace and I have a lot of respect. And I show that every day and I'm happy to show it, but I also expect it. I'm willing to fight and respond when people don't show that. So it's been an interesting journey and I've loved every moment of it. And I look forward to what's ahead.
That's awesome. I love that story, leading the Beantown, right, Boston, and moving down to Houston and taking on that internship. That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that. So tell us a bit more around your message to the world on cybercrime and what we should do to be mindful during this online shopping season.
Well, it's been interesting to recognize that the people who are targeted the most in terms of cybercrime, and for me, I look at, shopping scams or cyberbullying, identity theft, et cetera, are the people that aren't really tapping in and Googling and reading about cybersecurity. It's like the women in the house, it's the elderly, it's the millennials, it's the kids. And I have felt very passionate about reaching those groups, explaining what cybercrimes look like, what they can present like, what their effects are. I was just talking to a group of 7th graders about clickbait, about all those quizzes, pop quizzes they get, or click here to tell us your favorite so-and-so, or the information they so freely put in when they want to download an app or take a survey or do whatever. Click to purchase. I find those groups to be really important to reach out to. And I talk to them again about every angle of cybersecurity that they might be affected by or targeted by, they may not realize. And in those conversations have been very enriching. They grow every year in terms of people who realize that they're interested. Unfortunately, you have a handful that say, well, I've been a victim. And so now what do I do? And we learn together and grow together that way. But it's been really fulfilling.
Thank you for sharing. That's just kind of a segue into the next question I have for you, Rania. Are you leveraging any new or emerging tech within your space? If not, is there any cool app that you find useful you can share with our audience?
So we talk a lot to parents about the safety of their children online. That's a big space for us. And when you have these parents that say, look, I can't even keep up. I don't even know how to get on my child's TikTok account, let alone manage their online world or all the different apps or websites, et cetera, chat groups that they're on. We understand that. And so we talk to them about how to manage technology, but also what some good add-ons are. And for us, we love Bark. We love Bark. It's bark.us. It uses artificial intelligence to manage a child's phone and to really look for keywords and things that might be trigger words for parents, whether it's highly sexualized content, inappropriate words, suicidal ideation, violence, threats, things like that. But otherwise, I'm not necessarily a highly techie person. I just understand what the risks are and what the dangers are and what people need to be looking for and navigating. We always tell parents, get online and search for trends in teen use or even online scams targeting adults this holiday season. Do your own research. And then, of course, our organization is constantly researching that. And people can go to our website, crime-stoppers.org, to find out and to read the latest information on it.
Thank you for sharing. And Rania, last question here, but our audience, our global audience, would like to know a little bit more about you. Can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in leadership or, even cybersecurity if you wanted to touch on it?
For me, it's been work ethic is a big thing, and it is a part of the fabric of who I am. I'm not a 9 to 5 person. I'm also not the type that expects people to sit at their desks from 9 to 5. I think the best work product comes from people who have a healthy work balance lifestyle. And I understand that means different things for different people. On the flip side, as I said earlier, I'm not, line 7 of your job description says this, but I forgot to add that. So you're excused. Look, we all know there are positions that are defined, but the spirit of every person working wherever you are is to get the job done ultimately. And so I expect people, and I'm this way, do what it takes for the greater success of the mission of wherever you are. For us, it's a nonprofit organization with a mission to solve and prevent crime, but you might be in a tech industry or a business environment. Put in the extra time and effort for the collective good of all. And I'm reading. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly researching the newest things in my space and the newest trends in my space. I think forecasting is critical, but I'm not a stickler for strategic plans because I think they're limiting. They box you in, and it doesn't give you an opportunity to think and to grow with the times. And the world is ever changing, ever evolving, and we've got to be able to adapt quickly. And those have just been key things for me and how I manage, but also how I work every day and how I expect our team to be.
Thank you for sharing that, Rania. I appreciate it, and I know our audience would appreciate that as well. And Rania, it was just a pleasure having you on today. I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
You got it. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye for now.